Maori, bonjour, glad you could join us for the Pacific Way. It started with humble beginnings, but over the years, the Fashion Council of Fiji has demonstrated what can be achieved through dedication and perseverance. In June 2014, the first ever workshop for the Fashion Council of Fiji was conducted in the capital Suva, attracting more than 50 participants, including designers, musicians, artists, dancers, and representatives of the private sector. The Pacific Way crew also attended the meeting to find out more.
It started with humble beginnings. 2 years ago, the Fashion Council of Fiji was born and demonstrated what could be achieved through its network of artists, designers, models, and industry representatives. Today, with a hub of designers and garment manufacturers in Fiji, the sector has grown and is reaching their goal of being a vibrant fashion industry in the Pacific. In June 2014, the first ever workshop for the Fashion Council of Fiji was organized by the Pacific Islands Forum Secretariat PIFS and the Secretariat of the Pacific Community SPC in Fiji's capital Suva. This was attended by designers, artists, dancers, musicians, as well as the private sector.
So the Fashion Council of Fiji has actually been in existence for a couple of years, but they haven't had the opportunity, I guess, to really develop a strategic direction, where they want to go, what their role should be, what their membership should be. So, and it's really important for us to develop the industry bodies. You know, councils have a role to really move forward the industry, so bring everyone along with them, advocate for their particular needs with government, with private sector. So there's a whole range of things that need to be done.
So that's today's session. As I said,
it's an area of development that we believe with the right resources, with the right skills, the industry can grow. We just need to check a few boxes and put in place some strengthening mechanisms for that to happen. And this workshop is one such area.
Indeed, in its 2-year history, the Fashion Council of Fiji is an important platform for addressing cultural, social and economic issues that affect our region.
Basically, the Fashion Council of Fiji was set up officially 2 years ago, and primarily the role was to try and get like-minded people in fashion to try and develop the fashion industry. And to a large extent, most of our work was centered around trying to get government support to try and help fashion designers, you know, grow and develop and try and pursue fashion as a major career rather than something that people did on the side or as part of vocational training. So really, this workshop actually has helped us achieve most of our goals in the sense that it is a starting point for us to get all the people in the industry that can come together and share their ideas and also share their experiences, and at the same time relink with each other, because we all operate in silos. So progressing in different spots doesn't make the industry grow together. So being here in one setting, we're able to hear what the work of the council has been and what the members or potential members really want out of the council.
Alan Arlo was among fellow Pacific artists at the 5-day workshop. A few years ago, this former choreographer at the Oceania Center for Arts, Culture and Pacific Studies at the University of the South Pacific made the decision to go back to his roots. He is now the president of the Samoa Arts Council based in Apia.
When we're talking about the arts in Samoa, we are looking at a various range of mediums. Fashion is one, dance, music, architect, navigation, tapa design, storytelling, and all sorts of arts. So how does this link with the current workshop that's happening? Well, in collaboration with the Secretariat of Pacific Communities with Elise Huffer and the Culture Development, we at the Samoa Arts Council promote the awareness and advocacy and development of all sorts of mediums of the arts. So fashion is currently at the focus or the forefront of this workshop. And we are planning to have the same workshop done in Samoa in the coming months in August and also in the Solomon Islands. So the link with this is that we, together with the Ministry of Education in Samoa and the SPC, put together the proposal with the Fiji contingent and the Solomon Islands to the ACP EU.
My husband moved here and I had to join him, so I'm here with
all the way from Tanzania. Jennifer Rosa was inspired by the colors and design of their fabric to fulfill her dreams of being a fashion designer.
How I started the fashion, I got inspired with my people and the fabric in my country. We have a lot of fabric which we don't use as much as it is supposed to be. Like we use it as a sarong, but I found like you can do so many things out of it. That is how I got inspired, and I also got inspired with foreigners. They liked our fabric so much and they couldn't deal with it because we were not like creative and we were so limited with the use of it, and I thought I can offer that to foreigners who like to use our fabric.
An inspirational speaker at the workshop, Elizabeth Morrison, encouraged and urged participants to have a positive influence, whether it is through fashion, music or dance.
I want them to understand how much influence they have. There's such influential people standing at a very pivoting point of everybody's lives. They're at this place where they almost make decisions indirectly for people. And my question to them, or my message to them is to be able to know that and to understand who they are, where they stand and why they stand there. Because I believe that when they can grasp that as an individual, they will be able to, designing fashion, take it to the next level. Writing a song, take that to the next level. Not just so that we have clothes for people to wear, or not just so that we have music to listen to, but we have stuff that people can grab and want to do something themselves and want to move forward themselves.
The Secretariat of the Pacific Community has been assisting with designing and strengthening the cultural industry in Fiji, Samoa and Solomon Islands.
We'll continue providing advice to Fashion Council, so it's an ongoing, this project is over 30 months, but obviously, we continue to work once the project is finished. But basically, our role is to make sure that whatever has been decided continues, and that the decisions that have been made at this workshop are brought back to the general membership. So we're going to have a National Cultural Industries workshop in Fiji in August, and the work done at this past workshop with the Fashion Council of Fiji will be presented at that workshop as well.
So in the broader context of economic development and economic growth of the Pacific Island countries, Fiji in this case, because it's a workshop dedicated to the Fiji fashion industry, it allows us to use the fashion industry as a model industry. So we take the view that if it works for the fashion industry, it can work for dance groups, it can work for other artisans, handicraft, and these are areas or sectors of the industry that is, every day we hear pleas from these industries for assistance, for help. So the strategic approach to work first with the fashion industry gives us that nice launching pad, I guess. So if it works for the fashion industry, we can take this model, right, and use it to nurture the other sectors of the cultural industries.
When you're looking at the fashion industry, you're not just looking at a stage production. You're looking at education and training. You're looking at marketing and promotion. You're also looking at planning and policy. So the industry in itself is very broad. And so when it looks at that, it looks at the garment industry, it looks at hotels, museums, galleries, the dance, food even. So fashion, in the broader sense of the word, is about lifestyles. Some other cultures in the world.
Out of this workshop, we really hope that people can nut out what is it that they really expect and what are realistic expectations from the council in the next few years, and also looking beyond that for at least 5 to 10 years. And it is something that we'll always revisit, because as a growing industry, there's always new changes there. If you look at government legislation, so you never know that maybe there might be a budget that's set aside to help this industry. So basically, from being a small council, we could be a bigger council because we have the funding power, to be able to do more activities and really reach out to our members and really work on ways in which the industry can grow.
The Fashion Council of Fiji has an important role to play in developing the Fiji fashion industry. It is about making collective and individual work, dreams and ambitions a reality, and ensuring the full development of the fashion industry, not only in Fiji, but around the Pacific.
The workshop was really fruitful because we worked with the executive to develop their strategic plan, but with an action plan. And the real purpose of that is then the Fashion Council of Fiji has a story to take up to government and say, okay, this is an industry that has potential, but really to see it through, we need to work on this, whether it's education and training, whether it's just setting up themselves institutionally, having a secretariat and staff working there, fiscal incentives, making it easier for designers to get access to good fabrics, to get access to modern technology, so that they can also produce their prints here, that sort of thing. There's a whole range of things that need to happen.
Welcome back. You're watching The Pacific Way. KA-PING-MA-RANGI Atoll is located in the northern Pacific Ocean. Although part of the Federated States of Micronesia, it is home to a Polynesian community. Here, survival is carved out by honoring and utilizing the skills and knowledge passed down from one generation to the next.
These are the men of Kapingmarangi Atoll in the Federated States of Micronesia. They are well-known traditional woodcarvers in the Northern Pacific. What also makes their story interesting is that they are the only Polynesian community in Micronesia. Kapingmarangi Atoll lies 740 kilometers southwest of the main island of Pohnpei. Kapingmarangi Atoll is in the municipality of the state of Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. According to local legend, the people of Kapingmarangi descended from Ellis Islands and Samoa some 600 to 700 years ago. Kapingmarangans refer to themselves as Kirinese and are often known for their handicrafts.
All I heard is that there was a drought. People ran out of food and water, so some of them made their way here.
The Kapingmarangans were brought to Pohnpei as laborers by the Japanese after they assumed Micronesia from the Germans in 1914. In 1919, the Japanese administration granted them land in Colonia, the capital of Pohnpei. Today, about 600 Kapingmarangans live in this settlement they now call Porakid village. It's here the Kapingmarangans showcase to the world their traditional knowledge in carving and weaving.
We carve animals and fish, things like that, canoes. And also people come just ask for anything, then we can carve them what they want. A horse, cow.
For Kapingmarangans, carving is a natural gift. It's a skill that doesn't require any formal training.
I was very little and started fooling around with the tools with my parents used for carving. Now I'm 50-some years old and do the carving myself.
Carving is just something in the people's head, I mean the Kapingi people. That's why everybody can carve. To me, I carve anything, most of everything. I carve everything, but nobody teach me how to carve it. And I just look something and I carve something out of my imagination. And like I see a piece of wood there, and I see that it is good for something. So I start carving what in my mind. If I want a shark, I carve it a shark.
Carving is sacred and close to the hearts of the Kapingmarangans. Their traditional crafts are coconut graters, fish spear, and the most sacred of all, canoes. They call it wakasiu, or sacred canoe, and used mainly for fishing. Carving the wakasiu historically was extremely important to the Kapingmarangans. Carving and using of a wakasiu was strictly under the control of the ariki, the religious leader and the sacred cult house. Today, however, there are a variety of other handicrafts.
Things like fish and animals, see, it's the help of all those people, the tourists who come and ask for a fish and ask for a shark, and that's the time we start working on things like fish and carve fish and animals like that. But before, we just canoes and coconut grater and what else.
Carving is the only source of income for the Kapingmarangans living in Pohnpei. It is also their own security as they do not own land. The women support the men with their own handicrafts. They make necklaces, weave baskets and other Kapingmarangi crafts.
This one This is wood, made out of wood. And this is shell. This one is different. And this one is more cost than these because of this one, the center one. This is out of the coconut tree.
The men earn around $3,000 a week from their carvings. And the women would earn around $50 a week.
If there's a Japanese people come here, like a Japanese boat, when they come here, they can put that, they can sell, we can sell something like all the way to 7,000.
This is our life, the handicrafts. Most people live on handicrafts.
The Kapingmarangans have special feelings towards carving which cannot be expressed in words, but through their work alone. They use wood from a special tree that grows in the mangroves in Pohnpei, which they buy from the locals. In the old days, Kapingmarangans used giant clamshells as tools for carving. Today, they use modern tools like this one.
I resold you this one. Sharp.
The other one?
Much has changed in the lives of the Kapingmarangans during the last 100 years. Western influence and lifestyle has made it difficult to convince their young people to respect and uphold their tradition. For Billy Martik, being the leader is not always easy.
As of now, I don't think there's a plan, but people more prefer on a modern life than traditional life.
Pohnpei is and will remain home to the Kapingmarangans for as long as they live. With limited employment and business opportunities here, there is nothing else the Kirinese will cling to earn them that much needed cash to meet today's living costs. Except for this tradition which they hope to keep and pass on to generations to follow.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but do pay us a visit on Facebook and on YouTube because we'd love to know your thoughts about the show or any of our stories. Until next time, Lukimyu, Sapo.